tell you, Akan seems to be the most spoken language in Ghana. But I'm actually humbled to have a man who would go all out to promote his because of what he believes in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 5 minutes past 11 here on Star 103.5 FM. And in studios with me, Apostle Abraham Lamptey. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Onupa.
No drama,
I drew my song.
I'm actually wondering if I should do strictly English or
no, we can do both. We can do both.
But why do you insist people speak down? I mean,
I have a simple answer. If you want to colonize someone, change their language.
And how is that?
The very moment your language is changed, your taste will change.
Right.
And when your taste is changed, identity is lost.
Wow.
So watch it. Now we add cassava dough to a flatter when we are preparing kenke. Because the strategic but gradual colonization of gas is taking place. Exactly.
But personally, to you, I'm sure you've been to other churches, you've ministered across.
Yeah.
What do you think is the problem? Because I know there are times some will do the local language and still want to do English. And even when they do Ga or other languages, as in Ga or ever, there is somebody who translated it to, let's say, Chi. Because we've seen Chi is believed to be the most common language in Ghana now.
Okay. You see, being common doesn't make it, how do I put it? The fact that it is common does not mean you should throw your identity away.
Right.
Because to my knowledge, common things are rather affordable and cheap.
Oh.
But things that are not common are really expensive. Things that are not common don't advertise themselves. You go for it. Have you seen Rolls Royce advert before?
Not at all.
Good. So I'm more of Ga because Ganyo be Jimmy. Ganyo Jimmy ni no close. Then we media chale he ninje. You catch me Abraham Lamptey. Ni mi you moko klo. It's strange.
Well, that's right. So, in fact, when the interview was actually confirmed, I was actually thinking of the right song to even start the interview.
Okay, so now you can pick any song.
Any song.
Any song.
Like this very one. I wasn't too sure if this song would work. In fact, I had to listen to the whole of last night just to be sure. I mean, get used to the lyrics of the song. you are still listening to Star 103.5 FM. Don't be asking questions. This is still Star FM. I just had to do this because, well, things have changed, kakra, just small, because of the man I'm actually speaking to this morning. But Rev,
yes, sir.
How was your Easter?
My Easter was beautiful.
You spent most of your time in church.
Yeah, my Easter was super beautiful. It was great.
Picnics. No picnic.
No picnic.
Why?
Why should we picnic at Easter?
Well,
to me, mo fe mo ke boni enu onyu mo shishi ha. Agbe obi, agbe onyemi, agbe onanyo, eke oya party.
Well,
how do we understand the death on the cross, the burial, the resurrection?
Have we lost it as a people? Because it seems now.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
We don't understand Easter anymore?
At all. Big time. The things he nailed on the cross. Remember, the body was taken off the cross, but the blood stain was on the cross. Ajewe cross eno lololo eni bi na climb cross eno. Okay, ishi.
Whose fault is it? Is it the men of God who are not giving the word properly, or the people know the word but they are still not doing what the word says?
It is the sweetness of the flesh that is making people ignore the truth.
People love
hello when
they see
that be hello me ngomo ni biona chale hello esmomi mi ngo yo beno ba hele shie o ha ehse na mo efeflo no he won neighbor gbo e ke efeflo. You can ask my son, he will tell you I always have a different way of celebrating Easter. The Thursday that leads to the Friday, and then the Saturday, whilst he was in the grave, you are drinking, chilling.
No, I mean, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we feel like, well, he's
chilling.
We are chilling. On Monday, we would want to,
you are still trying to kind of make it look. But can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
When you work hard to leave an investment for your children, and you see them have fun with it, but not working to multiply it, how will you feel?
Well, I wouldn't be too happy.
What was his purpose on the cross? So we will go and share the good news. Should it be a time for merrymaking?
Well, no, not at all.
Thank you.
Well, I don't chill though. In fact, my Easter.
No,
I don't. Also, I don't.
Okay, then you're like me. They say I'm boring, but they are now understanding.
I don't. I prefer to be in my room than step out.
Perfect.
People actually feel I am one of the most boring entertainment person they know, because they see all the videos out there. I'm here jumping here, doing that.
But then
when I close from work, I'm going to my house.
Perfect.
Anyway, so you were born a Muslim.
Yes.
At what point did you decide to change from that religion and join Christianity?
Can I say this? If you decide your relationship with God will be questionable because you think you played a part in your salvation. But when he picks you, when he calls you, when it is something you don't want to do, a place you don't want to be, but then you are pulled there only for you to discover later that that's the best place to have been, then you understand it well. Onake kokyo sumo na mfe no kuwe. If you buake bo sumo no feel, you will call sumo bakba. Shika blabwa woman you na hise namo oshidong. So that was, I think, 27, 28, 29, 28 years ago.
There was a call.
Should I say a call or a snatch? I was snatched.
Snatched.
Yeah. Shabby woman.
So, okay. So basically, I will call it from this scenario. You have something I wanted. I don't want to ask you for it. I take it from you. I snatch it from you.
Yeah.
Is that what happened to you?
Now, you have something you don't know the value, but I do. And I know the benefit you stand to gain out of it. I don't have to look at your ignorance and let you die a foolish death. I have to snatch you out of your ignorance and pull you into the discovery of the treasures you have on the inside of you. Then when you discover the benefits of that which were in you, you will no longer go back to be foolish, but rather have a sense of gratitude unto me. Are you getting it? So that's what happened. I had everything. You see, in Jeremiah, he said, when you were a clot of blood in your mother's womb, I knew you, and I formed you. So God's knowledge of your content was the reason for your formation. What you contained was what made it necessary for God to form you. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Oh, here, $10 million, right? And then you see a Bugatti or a Lamborghini, a Bentley or a Rolls Royce. Your house is in Dodoa. And then you also see a Tundra or a Tacoma. You have $10 million. Which one will you buy?
What a question.
Your house is in Dodoa. Not the main Dodoa, but you are in, you go about 10-15 minutes drive inside. Dodoa. And you see a Tundra or a Tacoma. And then there's a Bentley, there's a Rolls Royce, there's a Bugatti, this is a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a Maserati. I mean, which one will you buy? Your money can afford any of the cars there. Which one will you buy?
Looking at the nature of the road.
It's okay. You've answered me. So you must know your location and determine your choice of purchase.
Right.
So here I was going to challenge Bomoya Shine rough. Shining or
you smoked at the time?
Oh yeah.
You made alcohol your friend?
Not only alcohol. I was on the Indian hemp and the powder itself, and one of the days, it was a Friday, I had gone to one of those corners at Achimota, Copper V, and I was on cloud 9. Just waiting for that car to pass, then I'll cross the road, go home and enjoy my gari and pepper. Then this car stops in front of me. This fair, handsome looking gentleman driving and said, "Sit down." And I sat as if I was under some hypnotized something, and I sat.
Somebody you didn't know?
I didn't know him from Adam.
No, this is strange.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have gone because I didn't know you. So how would somebody just stop his car and ask me to sit in his car?
I did because I felt, now I know it was the time.
Okay.
If when you are in God's plan, He wouldn't worry. You do what you want to do. When the time is up, He knows how to get you.
So you had finished, done doing your stuff. You're about to cross the road. This man stops. Gentleman, sit down.
And I sat.
You sat in the car.
And then he drove me to Kokomlemle, Blackmore and Sons.
To give you a word.
I saw this warehouse-like building. Then he just asked me to come in. I entered the fenced house, and he called one gentleman and said, "Bekene leba lead worship."
Worship?
Yeah. And I was a Muslim. He's not asked me anything. He just told the gentleman. But then he was Pastor Samuel Ajay Yebua. He said, "Ajay, Bekene ke microphone leba lead worship."
Wait, did you guys have any kind of conversation in the car?
Nothing.
So mute from Achimota to Kokomemle. Did he ask you?
Not a single word. Not a word.
Maybe he knew you.
No, he didn't. But his master knew me. So it was his master who asked him. I'm talking about God. Who asked him? Now this is the gentleman. Pick him.
We are talking about this man. He. Who exactly is this man?
I'm talking about Apostle General Sam Kranchi.
Wow, Chapel International.
Yeah.
Wow.
By then it was International Bible Worship Center.
Oh, that's why I fellowship.
Really?
Yes.
Are you serious?
True. That's why I fellowship. Like, so.
How many years have you been there?
I think I went there in 2012. So this is what actually happened to me.
Okay.
Between 2011 2012, a deaconess told one of my aunties to bring me. I wasn't too into it, so I ignored the call. Then one morning, my auntie insisted we go. We go to this woman, and this woman said, there is something coming, a very huge stone coming to hit me, but I have to leave my church and go to Royal House Chapel, get myself into the church, make sure I'm part of the church activities, so I can continue from there.
Wow.
I was like, so what is all? So in fact, I ignored the call. I didn't ignore it.
Okay.
6 months after, the stone actually came.
Wow.
And it hit me so hard that affected me, it affected my father, and a few of my mother's relatives. Wow. Then I was like,
Then you remembered what was said.
Something like this to me before. So quickly, I went back to the woman myself. So quickly, I went there. I had to go to their foundation school,
membership school.
3 months.
Yeah.
I passed through. In fact, I'm a member of the transportation committee.
Oh, okay, okay.
But
I am the founder of Voices in Worship.
Whoa, beautiful groove. In fact,
I wanted to
say.
I always refer to them as the best choir in Royal House.
Yes, they are.
I am the father of that
so
group.
well.
I am the father of Voices in Worship.
So, in fact, there is one more confession I have to make once you are here.
I'm listening.
I think for the past 5 years, I haven't done so well with church. So what I do is I miss the whole year and I enter the church on the 31st of December.
Lift up your hands for deliverance. Father, in the name of Jesus, I restore the zeal in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All you need is a restoration of that zeal. You see, when you don't know what you have, that is when you look out for other things that may look brighter but not shiny.
Wow. This is deep.
Yeah.
Talking about church, I'm sure one incident you might want to forget, but anytime your name comes up, there will be that kind of relationship to that particular stuff. It's got to do with your church and how it got burnt.
Yeah.
Who burnt your church, Reverend?
Chale le. Ghana police if you can revisit that case for me.
It is still with the police?
It's still with them. They came to do forensic investigation and everything. They said I will hear from them maybe today.
How? I mean, there was no court session. You didn't go to court?
Nothing. In fact, if they had found the person, the arsonist, then they'll be processed to court. But nobody has been found. So
at the time, do you have issues with people around?
No. There was one lady who said the land belonged to her without knowing that it has been, that whole area has been reverted to the Nungwa traditional authority. So, but even at the end of the day, it came to us. Judgment was in our favor. So I don't want to say she's the brain behind. No. I'm not that person that keeps pointing accusing fingers at people until I know the fact. So maybe tomorrow the police will find out who the arsonists were.
Have you lost interest in a case now?
In fact, I did not even think about it.
You didn't follow it at all?
I did not bother myself about it.
You weren't interested in it?
I was. In fact, you want the truth?
Yes, please.
I wasn't expecting anything good out of it.
From the police case or what?
Truth be told, yes.
You didn't trust the police to do a good job on that?
I don't want to call it trust, but yes and no. Have they proven me wrong?
Well, maybe yes.
Do I have to do the work for the police before they know they are police? Should I be the one to remind them that there is a case you need to investigate? No.
What has that incident actually taught you as a person?
It just lifted me to another level of relationship with God. Because in as much as they bent the church, they lifted my faith. It rather made me more stubborn and more determined to do the work of God. If you are truly called, you don't quit in the face of crisis. David says something in Psalm 23, number 4. He says, it's a fact. It's evident. Everybody can see that I'm going through difficulties. But I'm not worried because God is with me. And that is what we say always, yea, though I walk through the valley. But this is the best way I can make you understand it. When everybody can see your crisis and they expect you to cry, but you are rather dancing. They will expect you to cry because of their ignorance of who is with you in the crisis. Because you see, God will not take you through crisis to crush you, but he takes you through crisis to crown you.
With this particular incident that happened with the church, is it one of the life-changing experiences that made you decided, you had to take a bold decision that, well, in spite of all this, we are still on track. We are still doing what we are doing.
You see, when God calls you, he will show you the end of the journey. He will give you a picture of the end, but he will never tell you what will be happening. Else, most of us would have quitted, would have let go. Because some of the things, if God has given you a glimpse of it, you wouldn't have, gone ahead with it. But I will say that I was already resolute. I had made my mind even before the burning. So fire or no fire. And interestingly, that one was the sixth burning. Not attempt, like sixth burning. The church has been burned 6 times. It was the 6th one that got nationwide or international.
So
I'm a product of fire. So you mean me bomo la ake for me la ake chuhe la ake pomi mini wa mashe lagbe.
So you mean for the first 5 incidents that actually happened, it wasn't as major as we.
The same. It was the same. The same. In fact,
Rev, you have it.
I'm not going to say anything to her yet. I don't know if I should say she's stalking me or I'm stalking her, because everywhere I pass this week, she's there.
Oh wow, interesting.
So that 5th one, the 4th and 5th were more serious than the 6th one.
And the nation didn't grab that, but we were rather picked on the 6th one.
I guess having a cup full is not because you have water, but until it is full. So I believe the 6th one was what made the cup full, and it began to spill, and people discovered that something was going on in the cup.
How did you bring the church back? Because from the pictures we saw, everything was gone. Everything. Well, I didn't bring it back. God did. Who am I? No, but I mean, so
no, the truth is
you
that
have to buy chairs again.
Which we didn't buy.
You didn't buy chairs? Somebody supplied you?
The instruments we didn't buy.
Somebody gave it to you for free?
That is the joy in serving God faithfully. The church was burnt on Monday, and you know what? That very Monday, I was going on the 5-nation tour in Europe.
Ooh.
Yes. So myself and the family were home. I was packing. He was there. Whilst I was packing, he was which of my shoes will fit him. Then the call came that some people came there with this kufuor gallon, poured it all over the place and set it ablaze. So everything, I mean, you have the pictures. Everything got burnt. So when I got there, I was like, why are you people crying? Because the members were crying.
You asked them that?
Yes, I was angry. Why should you cry?
Wow.
A true believer wouldn't cry over that. It is the church building they bent, not your God. And if it is that God that gave you, then he must have a reason to have allowed. In fact, I have a radical faith that when people come closer to me and they get infested with it, they come back to say, Daddy, thank you. My faith is not because I have the best instruments, but because I have the best God.
What happened to your trip? Did you go for the trip?
Charlie, that he pay me oh. The way I target some euros, I can back up for 2 no. I had to cancel all.
Wow.
That very day, I canceled the trip and I stayed. And all press houses, and you wouldn't believe it, that day somebody called me asking me, don't I think I have slept with somebody's wife, and the person came to burn my church. Oh yeah. That is how stupid the console can make you if you are not of yourself. This console you see here is so powerful that if you are not strong, the console can let you say things that later you regret when you step off it.
You mean a radio presenter called you?
A radio presenter.
Live on air?
If you don't mind, I can mention his name. Today he's a beggar. Because that was the stupid thing he was doing on air. I don't even want to mention the radio station. That was the question he asked me. But if you want to know a person, check their attitude in your crisis.
Whoa.
So I told them to stop crying. And then I told the pressman, please, I beg you, I have meeting, I have church. So if you can wait for the next 2.5 hours when I close.
You fellowshipped that?
Yes, that very day.
In the same premises?
The same smoke infested, fire consumed. I did service.
No, but Red, your health should have been as important to you and that of your members.
Okay. Am I dead?
No, I'm not saying that. But you know what smoke does to the body.
Well, thank God we had about 3 fire tenders before the fire went off. So the place was soaked with water. We stood in it and did service.
With your voice.
Should we serve God in comfort? Is he God only because we are comfortable? We did service. And then when we closed, the police came and said we should get out of the place for them to do their forensic.
Well, of course, it's a crime scene.
You criminal enyemole. Crime scene no bashwemi criminal omole. Ko wo me la ma wa chaki microphone say. You know, so the Tuesday we had service in the morning again. The Wednesday we met and then we started cleaning after their forensic everything. We couldn't do much, but we did what we could. And then the Saturday we met. Some even left the church because of the fire.
Their faith wasn't that strong.
Thank you. So the Saturday, I think around 5:36 thereabout, I told those gathered that they shouldn't worry. What they school then wash it jamada. So the Sunday we are coming to church, but we will do jama. So they agreed. They left not less than 5 minutes. Then I saw a Kia truck.
Coming.
I saw a Sprinter bus. And then behind the Sprinter bus was the cargo type, and then behind the Sprinter bus was a 50 kV generator plant. So they came, parked in front of the church and said, good evening. I said, good evening. He said, we are looking for Apostle Abraham Lamptey. I said, it is me. What can I do you for? They said, okay, our boss sent us. In the Kia truck was 400 high quality, comfortable chairs.
400.
Brand new, 400. Our boss said we should bring it to you. Then they opened the Sprinter bus, a brand new set of instruments, 11 cordless microphones. Sure. I'm talking about Shure microphones. 11. Brand new set of instruments, drums, bass, guitar, lead, keyboard, all with their combos, everything, and then the line arrays and their sub, everything. Oh, you better sit well. and that they have been instructed to set the instruments and test it and see if the sound is of a good quality. Then plus the plant, not for rentals. When they did everything and they finished, when they finished, then they handed me a brown envelope. When I opened it, it was $40,000.
And this was about like 5 years ago?
Yeah, no, 4.
4?
Roughly 4 years. 3 years, 7 months now.
$40,000?
Yes. You are trying to give it the current rate.
No.
Please rewind the tape. That time, the spirit was still in the city. Don't do that. I said, so who is your boss? He said he doesn't want us to disclose this. I said, fine, this is what I need, not him. You leave it. Tell him I said God bless him. So when those who left came on Sunday and they saw what was there, that was when their faith in God. Listen to me. Whatever you lose for serving God faithfully, you will gain 1,000 more when you stay faithful. I'm telling you. Do you know I have 2 albums?
I have a lot of your worships. In fact,
not the ones you have. No, my real music album are not. I don't sell them. Oh yeah, the first one is His Ways. The second one, Yesu Mo.
Why are you not selling them?
I have 2 books to my credit. I don't sell it. You see, if your attitude makes people think you are serving Christ for selfish gains, for material gain, they will doubt the Christ you are preaching. And that is the problem of the church today. Unbelievers already have them. So that shouldn't be your reason for serving Christ. But where you will go after this life should be your reason.
Right, you seems you were ready for this call. Yeah, in fact.
Oh yeah, and yesterday I was telling mommy, she's down there in the car. Oh no, what the car more for more. Yesterday I was telling mommy, can you talk that way about yourself? That what I am doing for God is such that if He hadn't called me, it doesn't mean there are no people out there doing something. But what I am, the love I have for the things of God.
Rev, I hear this all the time. God has called this person, God had called that person, and it seems to be the order of the day. But at what point should one go through the calling and then grab the microphone and say he or she is preaching?
Do you have to let people know that God has called you?
Well, it seems that is what we see now.
Well, I don't remember. You remember when you said He called me? I said no. I don't even know. But your works will let people know that He's called you, because people know the handiworks of God.
You shouldn't broadcast that.
Why should you? When Jesus came in Matthew the chapter number 3 to be baptized, was it not God who told people that this is somebody I'm going to use? Why don't you wait for God to do that and you are advertising yourself? How do you see a mechanic? Is it not by the oil you see in the dress? So let them see it in you. Then they will know that you are a mechanic or a plumber or a carpenter. Why are we going about all God has called me, God has called me, God? If I am calling you right now, everybody here will hear your name, that you are the one I'm calling. Okay. So let them keep quiet. Wait. If it is God that has called you, people will hear Him calling you by the stain in your dress, not by the noise you make. Hey, milk kitchen follow.
Empty milk tin. That's what he actually made.
Ah, okay. Broke table of women. No, my job.
Iminu pekota meka jawe niami masekalo imako pele kwe imani pela kamilo no tiako o aro pena desaite.
From a rotated song. Let me get back into the studios now and get back to Reverend Abraham Lamptey. Well, sitting next to him is Empress Gifty Osei.
I'm not Osei.
Hey, sorry.
Empress Gifty Adoy. No fear me. No fear me. You
Empress Gifty.
Boy femo.
But I can't cry. I can't miss it. Was
Me a car bar. Unfortunately, this is a third floor. On you to.
But Rep, should every man of God have a spiritual father?
Hey, did you bring me here today so that I will say controversial things?
Oh no, I'm just asking.
Because we live in times that fatherhood can be bought.
Oh, okay. Fatherhood.
We live in times that in the ministry, sekato eja.
In the ministry,
Sekato eja shika heoche. Afo binya ngukule ho achose kule. We live in times that fathers can reject children they have raised, all because somebody just came with money and called them their children.
wow.
This is a sensitive question. Don't go there unless you are ready for the feedbacks that will come. Who is a son and who is a father? If you don't have a spiritual father, then you are a spiritual bastard.
Oh, Rev. It's not. It's
Now the Lord's Prayer.
Okay.
Say the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father.
It's okay. So even that one, you can't pray to God if you are a bastard. So you need a father. But did you get the father from the market with a price tag on it? Or you had a father because you are a product of his sperm? In other words, his spirit, his training, his upbringing. Who trained you? Who raised you? We live in times that people call people their fathers. Let me tell you something. You know Apostle General.
Yeah,
the day you see me minister, you don't need anybody to tell you this is a product of some crunchy ankra.
Too much energy, actually.
Boldness, not afraid to say what has to be said. And people are do you know the reason why this boy's song is all over the place? Of course I fucked up.
Oh, Rev, it's
Who never fucked up? Hands in the air.
It's morning. It's morning.
No one.
We can't be using such as a radio.
No, I'm giving you the song.
Right, right.
Do you know why? Because there is so much truth and sincerity in the lyrics. 3 days today I said something, my son, for saying of course you fucked up, and who never fucked up should lift the hand. Of course I was young. What do you expect from me? Now you are trying to give some people the go ahead to justify their mistakes because everybody has ever made mistakes before. But in the lyrics, if you have made a provision of an apologetic statement that yes, I fucked up, I'm sorry, but remember, we've all made a mistake before. You see, fatherhood comes with a price, and not a price made out of money, but a price made out of selfish sacrifice and training. So yes, every man of God must have a father, but the question is, who is your father and how did the person become your father? Because if you have a true father, you will go further.
Who is yours?
You know now, AG Wong. I beg you back, AG Wong. And you can pick your phone and call him right now. Apostle General is my father, and everywhere I stand, I say it. I say it. And anytime you wait, the next convention of saints, you will see me.
In September.
Yes. And when I get there, even when I'm back, you say, Abraham, Gloria, Nyeba. He'll call us and give us chair in front.
Your wife, Gloria?
Yeah. Mama G, she's down there.
How many years have you been married?
Oh, Charlie. 24, you were year 25.
Oh,
Yeah.
Silver jubilee with that.
You see now, and she's still looking young. That is my problem. I am having gray and she's looking young. Me no he boy, I blame.
You have a lot of children you have to take care of. I mean, both biological and adopted children.
Jane can refer to me.
Well, maybe she prays more than you do. But how did you meet her?
Padine, where Gigi Amande? Empress Menka. Well, I met her in the church.
Oh, okay.
I was listening to Reverend Student number one day, and he said, "Don't marry a pastor, marry a husband
Don't marry a pastor.
or an anointed man. Don't marry the gift, marry a husband. Being gifted does not make you a man enough to marry. So don't marry the gift, marry the man. And man simply means manage all nonsense.
Manage all nonsense.
Yeah, MAN. So if he can't manage the nonsense, don't marry a boy. So I met her at church. It was a beautiful day when the youth were going for a beach something, and voices in worship.
Right.
They made the youth then, because within a year 8 had turned to over 120. Oh yeah, voices in worship used to be that. Parents were willingly bringing their children to me under my tutelage, because you won't do some things under me, you won't dare. And they could see the results. So parents were bringing their, so they were going, and I said, oh, okay. I brought them together, sat in the bus, and mommy was there, also joining the team to go. And I said I wasn't going. I just came to make sure that they had left. I said I wasn't going. Then she said to one gentleman, I love him so much, Peter Mabo, Pierrot, Royal House. She said, oh, Mababra Abraham, so Pierrot came to tell me, Chalebi, what? So I joined. And we went. People brought food, plates and everything, but she didn't come with anything. So at the beach, they've eaten, and then she took a bucket, went fetch water, and began to wash the dishes. But she was washing the dishes.
Wow.
My daughter, what are you doing now for him to discover you?
Rev, as a single man.
I'm not single.
No, I mean me.
Don't rewind my tape. Fast forward it.
Myself and my other single man.
Okay.
What would be that advice you'd have for us in terms of marriage?
Don't marry the woman you can live with. And don't marry the man you can live with. I don't like the way you're looking at me.
Okay, so let me take my eyes off you.
Okay. Marry the woman you cannot live without.
Okay.
And marry the man you cannot live without. In other words, don't marry because you are in love. Marry because you are needed. Marriage is a product of need, not a product of love. Because in marriage, love dies. It takes friendship. You can ask Empress. You can ask anybody that has been married for 5 years plus. Or Donosa. So if you are not friends, when the love dies,
when love dies,
what keeps the marriage?
Friendship.
It's the friendship. Is your husband your friend? Is your wife your friend? Do you play at all?
Empress, do you play?
It's part of marriage. I hope I need it.
Yeah, they don't. Class perfect.
Mommy, who here name for you,
you do that?
Yes.
Oh,
It makes it so beautiful.
Jesus.
Even when we are fighting, I'll do it in the fight. Sometimes we'll be fighting and then I'll leave home when I'm going to sit in. Then I'll come back. We are fighting. Challenge for good, and then I'll do it and go.
Listeners, if you're asking what reference means,
in fact, I don't think I should allow you to interpret that.
That's fine.
You are released.
That's fine.
You can do it.
But at what point would love go so sour that marriage will start? Everything will end up into abuse. And I'm asking this because of
Osinachi.
Exactly.
Now you see, when you go into marriage with expectations, you will come out with disappointments.
Thank you.
You shouldn't expect anything.
Go with a blank sheet. Let me tell you, in courtship, it is pretense.
We are all pretending to.
True identity comes out after the I do. Let me tell you a story. A very stubborn slave queen. And the definition of a slave queen, they say, is a beautiful lady who refuses to work but want to have all good things.
Hey.
That's the definition of a slave queen. So you, the man going there, you should know that you are going to be slayed. You are not coming back alive. Now, this stubborn and hard-not slave queen went to church looking for a God-fearing, spirit-filled, decent gentleman to marry. Then another stubborn
Slave
pimp also came to the church looking for a crife whatever lady to marry. Opposite energy they will attract. You did physics. So the slave queen attracted the slaved king, and they got married. The night they went to their honeymoon, not knowing the guy has stuffed the fridge with some, beer dear. And money, don't mention, else they would have to, you send them some invoice.
Now,
so when they got into the hotel room, then this guy just opened the fridge, pulled 4 bottles. The lady didn't say anything. She just pulled her briefcase, or whatever you call it, opened it, and pulled out some pack of cigarette, pulled one out, and the guy was, hey, minimo. She looked on the table, hey, misu minimo. What they hid from each other came out the first night of their marriage. So in courtship, we hide things because but after marriage, no more ferie. If you are not friends, things that will come out will discourage you and disappoint you. And my problem is that we have too many marriage counselors in the system. Why will I carry my marital problem to someone who has never married but has read books on marriage? Forgive me, it's like taking your marital problem to a Roman father. He doesn't even know when you want to touch your woman and she's on strike. You can a rosary 7 times. Are you getting me? But if you're a young lady and you don't have a 65-year-old woman in your life as your counselor, your confidant, who will tell you the truth, your future is in danger.
Rev, my time is up. But
thank you.
I want to quickly.
I was praying for that.
You were?
Yes, because the questions you're asking. Didn't you see that I had to pass by the question you asked about fatherhood?
Okay, it's fine.
Empress will continue the rest.
But
she has the Takashi.
When somebody asks you the role of the church in nation building, what will be your answer?
If the nation will give the church the chance to counsel it, the nation will go far. But don't say because you are a Christian and you go to church, then you have the right to tell the church what to do. If churches are being managed and things are going on well in the churches, then you should know that there is something about the God the church is serving that is capable of making things improve and develop. Every mega church you see today started minute, started small. So if the founders have been able to make those churches big and made investments, then there is some wisdom in that God that can help you lead a nation. Unfortunately, when you get there, power makes you think you are bigger than the same church that graced you to be there. Church can play a major role in nation building if the leaders will allow the church to lead, but not the stomach to lead.
Should they be taxed?
Churches be taxed. Well, if you are taxing church, then make sure that when you are coming for pastor to pray for you, he will tell you the tax you should pay. Let's stop this hypocrisy. You want to tax churches? Then give churches back all the schools you have taken from them. You didn't build, but you have taken it. What they won't say, me, I will say. The help churches are giving to people. If you start taxing, churches will stop. And you see the headache on the nation. The hospitals. Don't you see hospitals built by churches? Don't you see institutions built by churches?
Sure.
You taxes. No problem.
Do you as a man of God subscribe to the e-levy?
Where? Go and ask the fathers. When they answer, the children will answer. What I have not heard my father talk about, you are asking me, the child.
You are waiting for Apostle General to comment.
Let the fathers answer this question.
You are a child, so you wouldn't want to comment on it?
Oh, why should I talk if fathers are quiet? Hey, only my money is shaman no matter and work as a man. Okay, lunch la wunda. Okay, bono chai. Okay, me can desha.
Ref, thank you very much for coming.
I'm grateful.
I'm
question no be na gbe.